Hi friends, happy Wednesday and happy day 25 of Preptober. We are almost there, you guys. I cannot believe it. This month has been a whirlwind. It has been insane. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me today. My name is Alana. I am the author of Sporadic Magic, book 1 in my middle grade Shards of Stars series. I'm also the author of The Wicked Rot under a pen name. And it is Kindle Vella episodes that are being serialized and going up on a regular basis. If you want to check either of those things out, I always have it linked down in the description below. But for today, we are going to be going over 10 tips I have for you for surviving NaNoWRIMO. These are not necessarily writing related. These are for your well-being, your mental and physical and emotional health throughout NaNoWRIMO, because Lord knows we could all use some of that help from time to time. You can take these with a grain of salt. Whatever you think is going to help you out, you can certainly use, and the rest you can just throw away. Don't throw away any words though. Keep those words, no matter what they are. Keep those words. So these are tips that I have personally used in the past. When I went against these, I lost NaNoWRIMO. When I used them, I won NaNoWRIMO. It was that simple and that hard. So I have them written down here to make sure that I cover them all. There are a couple of things that I've been promising to talk about for a while now. I've mentioned them in some of my NaNoWRIMO and Preptober planner videos and said, I'll tell you guys about that in just a minute. And then here we are days later. Alana never mentioned it. So we're going to cover them today. Some of them are kind of strange and quirky, but that's okay. Again, whatever works, right? Whatever helps us write those words and helps us win. So number one, of course, is set a realistic schedule for yourself. I think anybody and everybody who has any experience participating in NaNoWRIMO will tell you this. Don't tell yourself that you are going to write that 1667 words every single day if you have to be out of town for a week for Thanksgiving, or if you have regular appointments that come up, or if you suffer from chronic illness or migraines. I personally suffer from migraines, so I have to set expectations for myself that are realistic. So sit down, look at your calendar, figure out the days that you are going to be able to write, and do a little bit of math and figure out what numbers you need where to be able to catch up. So super simple. Number one, set a realistic schedule. Number two is make a vision board for yourself that is non-book related. So a lot of us going into NaNoWRIMO, we create Pinterest boards and vision boards with our characters or our world or little things that inspire us to keep writing. I highly recommend making a vision board for yourself, whether it's something that is on your wall or something that's on your phone, in your Pinterest, anything at all. Make a vision board for yourself about being an author, about being a writer, about your goals and dreams, what you're looking forward to, how it's going to feel to finish NaNoWRIMO with 50,000 words or more, or whatever your goal is. Make a vision board about those things, about you, to help you feel motivated and encouraged and inspired to keep going. That, more than my character and book related vision boards, have helped me go further in NaNoWRIMO, because if you put down on the vision board or in your planner or wherever how it's going to feel to win NaNoWRIMO, how it's going to feel to be a published author or whatever goal you're working toward, maybe you want to self-publish, maybe you want to see your book on a shelf in Barnes & Noble, put those things on that vision board and I promise it's going to help you out. When you reach that murky, muddy middle and you there are no words left, you're going to look to that and remember why you started in the first place and why you want to keep going. So that's number two, make a vision board for yourself. Number three, take vitamins and drink water. Okay, you don't have to if you don't want to. There are a lot of people who do not like water. I understand it's a chore for me some days as well, but NaNoWRIMO takes place during cold and flu season. We already have to set realistic schedules for ourselves, and we're already trying to write this massive amount of words, 50,000 of them in 1 month. So it's really important to take care of your health and well-being during the month of NaNoWRIMO, when everybody's out there doing their holiday shopping and reaching for the turkeys with goobers on their hands. Probably not, but I'm a germaphobe if you can't tell. So just take care of your health and well-being. Get some vitamins, get some vitamin C, take some airborne, drink your water. Mama says so. Okay. Number four, Here's again one that I highly recommend and has worked for me in the past. You can throw it out if you don't want to do it, but I highly recommend using sugar as the reward and not the fuel. So I, in the past, during NaNoWRIMO, relied heavily on things like Red Bull, Pepsi, clearance Halloween candy. You may think, Alana, that was when you were a teenager in your early 20s. Nope, not that long ago, actually. And it caused me to have more frequent migraines, which I lost days of writing because of. And it also made my brain just mush. Red Bull and then fun size Snickers, and my brain was like, bleh. Like, if you are not putting the right fuel in, you're not going to get quality out. Some people can handle their sugar. I am not one of those people. And I just find that it gives me such horrible brain fog, and it just burns me out. So what I like to do is, yes, I still have a treat every once in a while, but I use it as the reward instead of the fuel. So I tell myself, if I get my 1,667 words today, I can have that fun size Snickers, or probably not a Red Bull, but something else sweet. So I highly recommend use sugar as reward, not fuel. If you can handle your sugar, go hard. I love sugar. I have nothing against it. I live on it if I could. Number 5, have something as a transition trigger. So this is one thing that I talked about in my planner video, where I said, I'm going to tell you guys in just a minute how television worked for me to help me get my novel written. I used it as a transition trigger. So what I mean by that is have something that triggers your brain, especially, okay, so like me, for instance, I'm a homeschool mama, which means I need to go from focusing on my kids and their schooling and textbooks and all of those things. I need to transition from that into cleaning my house and doing errands into being an author. So what I would do is I would watch part of a television show that I wasn't super invested in, that wasn't anything like the genre and the style that I was writing my novel in, but something that I could tolerate. So I used The Good Witch on Netflix, for example. Not really my kind of show. It's okay. It has cute episodes, it has fun storylines throughout. I would watch half of one of those to transition my brain into writing time. I would go from homeschool to housework to, I would go either upstairs or down here to one of the televisions, depending on wherever my kiddos were, and I would watch just half of an episode. And that would tell my brain, okay, we are relaxing, we're letting go of the rest of the stuff from the day, and we're transitioning into writing. You can have different things for a transition trigger, just something that triggers your mind, okay, we're gonna write soon. You can use TV, and I do recommend doing the not necessarily in the genre that you're writing, and not something that you're gonna get heavily invested in. If it's a show that I absolutely love, like Stranger Things, for example, I would sit and watch 5 episodes and then be like, oh, okay, I should probably get some writing done. So I personally would recommend using something that you're not going to get super invested in, but something that you can tolerate at least half of an episode for. You could also do something like lighting a scented candle that triggers your mind. It's time for writing, making a specific cup of tea for yourself, listening to a song or a playlist. Any of those things can help you transition your mind. This also is something that works really good if you have a day job that you have to go to and you still are participating in NaNoWRIMO and you have to transition your mind when you get home. You can get into some cozy, comfy PJs or sweats, make yourself the cup of tea, watch the half of an episode or listen to the playlist. It helps, I promise. We're on number 6. Number 6 is switch up your spots to reactivate your mind. You guys, I recently read somewhere for NaNoWRIMO, sit down right in the same spot at the same time every single day. Blech. How boring does that sound? That does not work for me. Some people, they need that amount of ritual and structure. My brain just doesn't work that way. So earlier this year, when I was writing my novel, I would transition my spaces. I would switch up my spots, and that would reignite my brain. I would go from in here in my office to upstairs sitting on the bed to outside on the patio. I would set up a little table out on the patio with a candle and some tea and my laptop, my plotting notebook, all of that. So I would make a whole deal of it and set up outside in the backyard. I would also, when I was getting to the end of my novel and just running out of ideas, running out of words, I would set up in the bathtub, dry bathtub, with blankets and pillows and like a little fort in the dry bathtub in our bathroom and write. So literally anywhere. I highly recommend switching it up, and the change of scenery, the change of where you are, reignites something in your brain. If you're one of those people who can sit down in the same spot at the same time every single day, God bless. Tell me how you do it. I could use maybe some structure in my life, but I could never do that much. Okay, number 7, cut creativity elsewhere if you need to. Some people do not have to do this, but I found, so if you're new here, I'm also a decorative planner. I combine decorative planning with functional planning, which means I use stickers and washi tape and highlighters and stamps and stencils, all that good stationery stuff in my planners. And I like to make them look cute. And sometimes I will even go as far as creating a little scene to tell a small story inside of my planner. And I was finding the more creativity I used in my planners, the less creativity I had for my writing. I know it sounds kind of crazy. You would think that, oh, you're in the flow of being creative, but no, I was using up some part of my brain. Maybe it's because I'm old. If you're young and you're like, I've got creativity for days, that is awesome. But it did not work for me. I've had some other people tell me the same thing as well, that they had to give up creative planning or do it like all at once or save it for the weekend in order to write. I am seriously considering doing all of my planner spreads for the month of November, like right now, so I don't have to use my creativity. That goes for painting, bullet journaling, anything. D&D, maybe D&D will help you write a little bit more, but a lot of places and spaces where we use our creativity, the more we use up somewhere else, the less we are likely to have to take back to our novel. Maybe just for NaNoWRIMO, I know right now I'm writing and doing other creative things and in my journals and my planners, and it's okay. But especially for NaNoWRIMO, that's going to be something that I definitely give up or do a lot less of. So that was number 8. Number 9 is stay connected to your novel when you can't work on your novel. So this one might be a tough one for some people, especially again, if you have a day job or if you have something or somewhere to be outside of the house. If you're like me, a homeschool mama with lots of other household things that take first priority, there are ways we can stay connected to our novel and keep it in our minds while we can't actually work on it. So for example, playlists that we can take with us, a playlist specifically for our novel that we can take with us walking the dog, to work. Don't listen to a playlist if you're going to get in trouble at work. I'm talking about like on your break, something like that. You can also take maybe like a pocket-sized version of your vision board or your Pinterest collection for your novel. You could print out like a little photo collage. If you have a place of work where you have a cubicle, maybe you could stick it to your monitor or pin it to your wall. And then if somebody comes along and asks you about it, you can be like, I'm a writer. I am rocking NaNoWRIMO. Thank you for asking. Let me tell you all about it. And that's another way to stay in your novel when you can't be in your novel. Journaling, planning little notes, listening to things that inspire you, podcasts about writing, videos about NaNoWRIMO, any of those things on your drive. Don't watch anything, just listen. There are lots of ways to stay in the novel when we can't be working on our novel. And I find this really helpful. And it keeps little things going in the back of our mind. And then in the evenings or on the weekend, whenever we have time to sit down and write, we're still a little bit tethered to it. We're not entirely disconnected. If you have to go away to family for Thanksgiving break, maybe take some things with you. If you're going for a long time and they don't mind that you write, you can obviously take your laptop and work while you're there. But if you have to stay really socially connected, take things that will still keep you tethered to your story and talk about it. Tell people at the dinner table to pass the mashed potatoes and listen to your story or help you get unstuck. Maybe they have good ideas. Who knows? Okay, number 9. Have a plan to combat fatigue and burnout because you won't make the decision in the moment of discouragement. For the most part, I personally do not. So what I mean by that is have a plan ahead of time for how you're going to get up and get away from feeling discouraged, from feeling burnt out, from feeling like this isn't good enough and there aren't any more words coming. Write down ahead of time some things that you can do to give yourself a break, to refuel your imagination and creativity, to feel inspired and motivated again. Have those planned out ahead of time. That can be literally anything. Watching a movie or a TV show that you really enjoy, that inspires your creativity, taking your dog to the dog park, going on a walk, visiting a special spot that motivates you, going on a hike, any of those things. Have a plan ahead of time for how you're going to combat fatigue and burnout when you get there, because I personally, in the past, when I have been feeling low and my word count is not where it should be, or I had a couple of migraines and the discouragement just keeps piling on and I feel worse and worse and worse. And in those low moments, we are less likely to look for a way out. We just kind of let the failure and the burnout feelings just pile on. Another great thing for that is to get involved in the NaNoWRIMO community. I love the NaNoWRIMO community. They set you up. The website is amazing and they set you up with people who are local. You can go onto message boards and things like that. You can also join my Facebook group, Overly Hangouts. I have the link for that down in the description as well. And there will be a constant flow of encouragement throughout the month of November. Now, I personally don't actually use the NaNoWRIMO website. For whatever reason, it adds to my anxiety. So if this is your first time participating in NaNoWRIMO, maybe be aware of that. Give it a try. You can feel it out. But for whatever reason, it makes me feel more panicked when I have to go enter my numbers and see how other people are doing. And it's not encouraging to me whatsoever. I prefer to do it on good old-fashioned pen and paper. Now, I'm really excited this year to hang out with my Facebook group. We're a smaller group. There's no judgment. There's no comparison. It's just going to be motivating and encouraging. So you can hang out with us there if you need something that is a little bit smaller and less overwhelming. That was number 9. Now, number 10, the last one, you guys, is celebrate every milestone. Celebrate yourself every step of the way. It's a huge deal to sit down and go after your dreams. It's a huge deal to attempt to write 50,000 words in 1 month. There is no failure and there are no losers during NaNoWRIMO. You win for trying, and it's incredible to go after your goals and dreams. So celebrate yourself every step of the way. Don't look at it as I'm a winner as soon as I hit 50,000. You are a winner for trying. Of course, we all want to win, and the goal is to get the 50,000 words, but it takes a lot of bravery. I'm learning this now more and more as I get older, that it takes a lot of bravery. And for some reason, even though there's more materials, more tools, more encouragement, more pep talks like this, more tips and things like that, it feels somehow harder some days to go after our goals and dreams. There's a lot more to get overwhelmed with. There's also a lot more distractions available to us. So to really choose our goals and dreams, to sit down and carve out the time, is worth celebrating every step of the way. Give yourself a gold star sticker. Give yourself a fun-sized Snickers at the end of the day, because we're using sugar as a reward, not a fuel. Just celebrate every little step of the way, whether that is big or small. I'm not saying go buy yourself a handbag and a new laptop for the first 1,667 words. We don't have to be crazy about it. We can just celebrate small wins every step of the way. Again, if you want to hang out with me for all of NaNoWRIMO, the month of November, I will be here to celebrate you every step of the way, and I will be here to encourage you every step of the way as well. So those are my 10. Those are my 10 kind of random tips for surviving NaNoWriMo and for taking care of yourself. I already have a bunch of Preptober videos up on my channel if you want to check those out. There's lots of writing tips and ideas. There's also freebies, printables, things like that. You can reach out to me and I can get those to you via email, or you can join us on the Facebook group. They already have early access to all of my stuff over there. You can vote on upcoming videos. You can participate in the book clubs and the giveaways, all that good stuff, and lots more to come throughout the rest of the year. But you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me for this one. That is all for this one. I will see you in my next one. Tell your dog I said hi. Bye, guys.